Alright, welcome back to Xpress Training. My name is Darren Field and let's get started. So I get a lot of questions asked about the Xpress 1024 rack. Now the rack is really cool because it has 16 programmable buttons that's actually on the unit. So you don't actually have to have Xpress running. You can pre-upload those scenes to any of those buttons, and then you can just eliminate the computer, power the interface rack by its own, and then control each light scene via those buttons. You can also control it by a nice little remote control via IR, which is awesome. Another cool feature with the rack is that it has two universes. So you can have two DMX universes plus a ArtNet universe, so you have a total of 3 universes, which is cool. You can also play back 8 scenes via Phoenix connector, which is awesome. So I wanted to open up Xpress and show you how to navigate the rack and how to upload your scenes and what everything does, because there's been a little confusion on how to operate it. So let's jump into Xpress right here. All right, so I have 2 universes rolling. I have 2 pars in each universe. Let's head over to steps here, bring up both universes. Cool. Let's go to live. So under universe 1, I have uplight 1, uplight 2. On universe 2, we have uplight 3 and uplight 4. These are pre-programmed scenes. Now for all the pars through both universes, I've created a rainbow scene and just an all blue scene and an all white scene. Perfect. All right, so let's jump over to standalone. So standalone is the place where you're going to upload all of your scenes to the rack and all the individual buttons. Now looking to the very top, you have 1 through 16. These represents each button on the actual interface. So whatever button you want to put a scene on, you just select the button and then we're going to upload those scenes. Now under each button, you're going to see a timeline. You can right click on the timeline, you can add steps, generator, or pixel scenes, and you can click the off tool. Now the off tool it just simply stops the loop on that button. So naturally the button's going to naturally loop your scene. If you don't want it to do that, you just press the off tool and it'll be off. Now if you pop over right here, you're going to see all of your DMX interfaces, and we're going to see the rack right here. Beautiful. All right. So if we click on number 1 and we scroll down right here, we're going to have some options. You can see zone 1 through 4. And we're going to see a auto start and calendar triggers. All right, let's talk about the zones. Now what's cool about the zones is that you can run 4 different zones simultaneously, which is awesome. So imagine number 1 was your house lights, say number 2 was your spotlights, number 3 was your stage washes, and number 4 was your movers. You can have each button, 1, 2, 3, 4, rolling, and they're all going to be on. Now the moment you choose, say number 5, button 5 as zone 1, if you go ahead and select 5, 5 is now going to override number 1 because it's on the same zone. So you can run 4 zones simultaneously, but the moment you add another zone that's the same as one of those 4, it's going to override. So keep that in mind. All right, so looking here, we have button 1, we have uplight 1, we have number 2, uplight 2, 3, and 4. Now, on number 5, I've added the rainbow button. Now, this affects all of those pars that are on the back. So let's apply this to zone 1. Beautiful. All right, so let's say this is what we wanted to upload to the rack right now. So let's go ahead and click upload. Give it a few seconds. This will start blinking and we're good to go. All right, so now let's test out the rack and see if the buttons are working properly. So what we're going to do is we're going to unplug from the computer and we're going to replug it in via power outlet. So I'm going to unplug, takes the power, we're going to plug this back in. Okay, we got power. And let's hit button 1, perfect. Button 2, 3, and 4. Nice. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are on. They're running simultaneously with all those different scenes. So I can control it with the remote control. Let's hit 1 again to turn them off. Or I can activate 4 or 1. All right, pretty slick, right? All right, so if we press number 1, which is on zone 1, knowing that number 5 is on zone 1, let's go ahead and press 5, and it overrides button 1. All right, So that is how you work with that. You can control it with the remote control. So now let's go back to Show Express. So let's go ahead and do the auto start. So let's run the auto start on, say, zone 2. Now with the auto start, we're going to click auto start, and let's go ahead and add a scene. I've already created one for the blue. So let's go ahead and say that this is the first scene that you want to run right when you give power to the rack. So this is beneficial. You get to your church or your bar and you power up the rack. This is the first light that's going to automatically pop on. So let's apply the blue. Looks great. And we have our auto start on zone 2. And let's go ahead and upload that. Wait for the blinking light. And there we go. Perfect. And let's go ahead and disconnect from the computer. Go to direct power. Plugging it in. And once it's ready to go, number 6 auto activates. As you can see, number 6 auto activates. That's beautiful. That's what we need. And then we can start overriding it. Number 2 is on number 2, and we're overriding that. And there we go. All right, so that's pretty sweet. You can still activate number 6, but that scene's going to be the first one on when you give it juice. All right, so we're back here in Show Express. Now let's go to, say, number 7. Let's apply this to be zone 3. And we're going to enable this where it's going to turn on at a certain date and time. And we're going to bring in, let's right click, add steps. Let's do the spotlight that I created. Let's turn that on. That's what it's going to look like, what we want on. So let's say if it was a bar, you wanted the lights to automatically spotlight a picture or a cool statue out front. Or if you're at a museum and you need to profile anything at a museum or a church or anywhere really that you need to auto program, a bowling alley, if you need to auto program lights to activate via trigger time so you don't even have to worry about it, then this is for you. So okay, so let's go ahead and go down here, zone 3, enable calendar on trigger. We're going to click edit, and we'll have a trigger for the month day trigger, or we can do a date trigger and the time. So let's do a date trigger on the time. Today's date is 7/22/23. We're going to do the time at 20. Let's try to make it really early. So 20, it's 20:06. Let's do 28. And that sounds good. All right. And let's go ahead and upload that data. All right. Perfect. And let's go ahead and unplug from the computer. That's already uploaded. I'm going to give it some juice. All right, now we're going to wait for 20:08. All right, so our auto activate came on. Let's turn that off. Here we go, getting close. Getting close. And there we go. Auto triggered for 8:08, and that is how you do it. So looking over here on Show Express, you can also enable the calendar to turn off the trigger, which is really cool, and you just set your date and time. So as you can see, the rack is such an amazing unit. It's very versatile. You can apply it to many applications, whether you're installing it in a church, a bowling alley, a museum, a bar, or anything in between that you need to run lights fast, easy, efficiently, and on triggers via calendar, which is pretty sweet. So definitely check it out. Feel free to ask me questions at showexpresstraining.com, and check out the Imagine and the also new course, the Lumen course, which is all about lighting for DJs. So definitely check that out. All right, until next time.